Operation Grim Sky gives players exciting new tools and plenty of opportunities to experiment with them. Whether it's figuring out how to put the first shield defender in play, tactically assessing an entirely reworked map, or even scorching a masterpiece into a wall, the developers crafted the new operators and map with your creativity in mind.
In a competitive way, it's not really useful to do clouds in walls, but I mean, you give this possibility to players, you give a space to express weird tactics.
So oftentimes it's like, yeah, we're making this toolbox there, and here, have fun, and then try to create something. And then it comes back to us like, oh yeah, that's clever.
When it came to creating Clash, we iterated on her biography and on her psychological profile until we thought it was just right for this character. So Clash was once a riot police officer, so she knows exactly how and when to deploy the shield.
So she has a very classic London police uniform because we wanted to focus about the attitude. We wanted to focus on her face.
This is where you stop.
The shield is kind of the part of the character, and so we designed the shield at the same time of the operators because we wanted to know the visual interaction between each other. We took the decision really to make the shield full transparent, to always be able to see her.
We tried to grab what we like about shield and make it an even more advanced version of that, something that is probably the most shieldy operator we have in the game. She's super tough, super resistant, 3 armor, big shield, but that was the first step, going from shield to this, okay, let's remove the lethality, it's not needed in defense, and then actually enforce team play a lot more. So let's explore that. It was the first step, and then when I should be able to do something more. I should be able to provide debuff, provide something like that, and that's where we went to the idea, okay, so maybe my shield is actually an active shield I can use. We had a few iterations where we went into actually like stopping people instantly or preventing them entirely from moving, which is makes sense in different games, in MOBAs and that kind of thing, but not so much in Siege. Like zero movement is extremely deadly. Shanka can attest of that. At that point, we were like, okay, that's interesting to be able to control movement. We have to work a fine line in terms of balancing between how much I can slow people down, how fast can I pull the shit back and hold my gun, the size of the gauge as well, all those things. And we have been through a lot of steps.
There was 2 main inspirations for this shield. It's something that exists that is a taser shield. It's much smaller, but it exists in the reality, and the riot shield. So we mix these 2 shields to make a totally new one, and we have kept the branding from the London police.
So while creating Clash, we knew that she would be from Britain. And so we had table reads when we were reading scripts and reading barks, and I would try to have a British accent while speaking her lines. Let's just say I'm not a professional when it comes to that, but I did have fun.
Maverick is an operator with Delta Force.
It was kind of tricky because that is a unit that doesn't exist officially. So there's no branding, there's no specific outfit, no specific weapons.
His story is that he kind of gets captured and we don't know what happens to him, and then he reemerges and there's a little bit of a mystery there, and we wanted to really have that emphasis on the mystery a little bit because it's kind of unique to the operators so far.
We wanted a new metal breacher because it's something that is really powerful in our game. First of all, Maverick used a very long distancing that shoot little thing that destroyed after a few seconds. So it was really like I'm doing something by shooting, and I could do it for very far distance, 20, 30, 40 meters. And that was the first thing we tried. And quickly we found out really too powerful. You could be at 30 meters, destroying a full wall. The fun was immediate with the fact that you could draw what you want. It's not because I drew a 6 on the wall that directly I'm better at the game, but it was fun. It was just fun. Like the fun factor was really there. So we kept that, we reduced the distance. Now we saw the full potential of just opening one line of sight. And I hope our players will take the full potential of Maverick and try things. I'm really eager to see that.
He was captured and he had to find a way out, so because he's so smart, he had built a very rough prototype of the gadget and was able to escape in that way. And now in the game, we have come to this final version.
The torch, the main challenge wants to not doing something that looks like a weapon. The first iteration we did, it looks like a weapon, and it was an issue because we don't want people to think, oh, I can torch people. We didn't want to do like a flamethrower or something like that.
There's the functionality part, and then there's like the narrative part. Okay, so the torch has acetylene and oxygen in it. Okay, but what is scientifically correct? What is this? And then the narrative part is, okay, what would it look like, and how would he have made it? What would the early version have looked like? And so there's two different things you have to balance and make sure that everything is accurate.
We padded it with metal so people don't think they can shoot into the canister and make the character explode.
It's considered a new map. We're taking a map that from our legacy and we're putting it up to date with how the game is played now. Mostly we aim to bring it back into a more competitive state. To be able to go back and work on stuff that you did 2 years ago and just improve it is something quite unique, and it's really fun to do that again.
This is the effort base, but we changed the concept of all the art, and the level design is completely revisited. What was effort at the beginning, and basically it was farms. So we keep the original walls of the farm, the roof, the farm itself stay there, and we build the training area with the stuff that could be in a farm.
And one funny thing also about Hereford is it was our prototype for Siege back in the days. It's kind of symbolic that it's the first one we take for a rework. It's almost like it's our stepping stone map to go to the next level, you know? We didn't choose it because of that, but it's to think about it, and it's kind of a symbolic way. But generally speaking, we tend to aim for something balanced, but also aim for creativity. Being able to give the player many ways to play the objective, many ways to defend or many ways to attack. And that's what we're trying to do in Hereford as well.
That's really what we wanted to push further, the creativity, because it's something that we really like, you know, giving tools to the player.
So I think there's a lot of potential. The way we play it, the way we design it, we give a lot of ways to play the operator, and I'm really curious to see what's going to happen.